Hello again, everybody. This is MrNoobTubeGamer back again with yet another video. This video is going to be discussion about microaggressions, microtransactions. I'm sorry, wrong channel. But before I get into that, let me just make a shameless plug to one of my other channels. So that episode of The Walking Dead last night was insane. It was crazy. If you guys want to see my review on that episode, the link to that channel is in the description. Also, if you want to see my live reaction to the deaths that happened last night, the character deaths, check out that channel as well. So the link to that channel is in the description if you're interested. I know, shameless plug, but whatever. I just wanted to get that out of the way because I'm sure a few of you might be interested in that. I'm sure a lot of my subscribers are Walking Dead fans, so I figured a lot of you would be interested in that. But regardless, let me just get on to the video. It's about microtransactions. So microtransactions, if you don't know, which I'm sure everybody knows what microtransactions are at this point. It's basically the gist of microtransactions is that you're able to spend real money to get in-game rewards, I guess. You know what I mean? So, like, for example, I can think of one example from the top of my head: Grand Theft Auto 5 online, right? And this is an example that I'm sure everybody is aware of. You play Grand Theft Auto Online, you have money. You can make money by playing missions, which it takes a very, very long time to make a good amount of money by playing those fucking missions. You can do heists, you can do all these things, right? Sell your cars, sell your whatever. But another way to get money is by putting real money into the game. You just go to the store in the game menu, and then there they are, the shark cards. You can spend, I think it's like $100 for 8.5 million. It's like, I think it's like $50 for 3 million, and it's like $20 for 1 million, and it's like $100,000 for like 3 real life dollars. Like, you can put real money into the game. Even if you, they say it's optional, but this is where it kind of gets a little bit iffy, because microtransactions are always viewed as something that is 100% optional. The problem is, a lot of games that have microtransactions are pay to win. One thing I can think of off the top of my head that is pay to win, I don't think Grand Theft Auto Online is necessarily pay to win. Like, you could get it, like, without, you know, putting real money into it, but it takes a very, 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 very long time. And they do that on purpose. They make the payout shitty, so you have to do the microtransactions. So, yes, while you necessarily don't have to put microtransactions, you know, you don't necessarily have to put more real money into the game, it's still pretty shitty. Like, you still pretty much have to do it if you want to actually have fun in the game. Because if you're fucking grinding missions all the time, you're not gonna have fun playing Grand Theft Auto Online. I didn't. That's why I don't play the game anymore, and I refuse to spend hundreds of dollars in microtransactions. Because literally, it'll take weeks of non-stop grinding to be able to buy a lot of this expensive shit in the game. It's just, you can't do it. You know what I mean? So, that's why the microtransactions have ruined the game for me. I made the GTA 5 video a few weeks ago, but basically, that's part of the reason why I stopped playing the game, because all these new updates keep coming out with expensive shit, like, you know, these new cars cost millions of dollars, everything, these mansions and everything cost millions and millions and millions of dollars. And the only viable way to achieve these items is through microtransactions. I don't think there's one YouTuber that has gotten these items without microtransactions. They even say that they buy shark cards all the time. So it's pretty sad that the only way to get these items really is to purchase shark cards. I just think that's crazy. And another example I can think of from the top of my head where microtransactions are absolute bullshit is with recent Call of Duty games. Like, you had Advanced Warfare with the supply drops. Everybody hated the supply drops. Nobody wanted them back in. But they put them back with Black Ops 3. I think what happened with Advanced Warfare, though, was that they had weapon variants. They didn't actually have new weapons. Or no, they actually did. I'm sorry, they did. They had the AK-47 and all these other weapons that they brought back in the game, but they didn't do that until later. Like maybe a few months before Black Ops 3 came out did they start doing that. But Black Ops 3, it was maybe like a month or two after Black Ops 3 came out, and they had all of these different weapons that you can only get through supply drops. And people were like, well, you can get the supply drops through the crypto keys, and you don't need to spend real money to get the crypto keys. I seriously don't know any person, I've never heard of any instance where someone was able to get all of the weapons, all of the variants, without purchasing one supply drop with COD points. I don't know. I never heard of one case like that. Hey, I'm challenging anybody watching this video, if you can come up with a case like that where they haven't spent any real life money on it, which I'm sure would be hard to find, because how could you prove it, right? But still, I don't think it's happened, honestly. You can't viably, especially since this is fucking bullshit. What they do with the supply drops is that sometimes you can get the same weapon, the same variant that you gotten before. And I know you can trade in those duplicates for more points or whatever, but it's stupid. Like, you shouldn't have duplicates. I know, it's like, it's random. It's random. I just hate it. And they went a step further by having taunts and you know, all this different shit in supply drops. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And they're back in Infinite Warfare. I saw it in the beta. Supply drops. They have supply drops in a fucking beta. That's just crazy. But that's part of the reason why I don't really care much for COD anymore, because of all these microtransactions involved. It's just not fun anymore. Call of Duty used to be like, I wouldn't say serious, because it was always like, you know, it was always an arcade shooter, but man, these fucking supply drops and these fucking boxing gloves and all this shit, like, it just got too crazy for me. I don't really care for it anymore, to tell you the truth. Like, Infinite Warfare, I'm not looking forward to it at all, especially after playing the beta. The game was god-awful. But those were games that cost $60. You paid $60, and the only way to really continue having fun is to put more and more and more money into it. Like, maybe Call of Duty, you can make the case, well, you don't really need to buy any of it. I understand that part, but with Grand Theft Auto, if you want to play online, like, you need to buy shark cards in order to be able to get the new shit. Like, you can't viably earn $10 million without either doing money glitches or literally doing nothing else in your life except for playing Grand Theft Auto all day. Like, you can't. Those are really the only ways you could do it without getting shark cards. And if you use money glitches, like, Rockstar's gonna find out. Like, they crack down on this shit because, you know, they want you to buy the shark cards. So if you're caught doing a money glitch, they fucking they ban your ass. Like, it's happened a lot. Like, they crack down on you. But those were full-priced $60 games that had microtransactions in them. And what was another case? Let's see, in Assassin's Creed Unity, I think it was, you were able to spend microtransactions. Like, it made you progress in the game faster or some shit like that. Like, they're trying to introduce microtransactions into story mode now. I'm like, why? Why are you having microtransactions in story mode? It's like, and it's like if I'm trying to think of a weird case. Okay, let's say Elder Scrolls 6 comes out next year or 2 years from now, right? And the single player has microtransactions where you could buy armor and shit. That would be fucking crazy. It would be insane. But man, but I understand these games are online, and they need to make money by with the servers, because it costs a lot of money to have the servers up for millions of players. Okay, fine, but we still paid $60 for this game. Like, they definitely made enough profit. They're just being greedy at this point by having all these fucking microtransactions in. And I don't even know if I can really blame. I don't really know if I can blame Rockstar or Activision or any other companies for implementing microtransactions in games that didn't really originally have microtransactions. Like Call of Duty, before Black Ops 3 did not have any, or before Advanced Warfare did not have any supply drops or anything, and they made enough money But they just want to step above and went overboard, and now they're just fucking greedy at this point. Like, they've been greedy for a while, but now they're even more greedy. But part of the blame goes to the dumbasses that are willing to put this money into the games. And I'm not talking about people that play free-to-play games and they have microtransactions in them. That's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. If it's free, if the price of admission is free, and they have microtransactions that let you, you're allowed to, I guess, get extra shit or whatever, that's fine, as long as it's not pay to win, because in that case it's not fair. And I guess you could argue that like free-to-play games with microtransactions are actually pretty shitty, because they make it free to play, but in the end you wind up spending more than $60 for all the shit that you can buy, the weapons and armor or whatever the hell that you're able to buy in these free to play games. But I will argue that, well, there's $60 games that also have microtransactions, like the same exact microtransactions that you find in free to play games. Like, I remember Elder Scrolls Online. I bought it for like I think I bought it for $40. I bought the Imperial edition for $40 because it was on sale. And the Imperial edition originally cost like $80 or $100. So something that was worth like $100, and they still had all these DLCs and microtransactions and all this shit. Like, oh my god, it was fucking crazy. I stopped playing ESO almost a year ago because I'm just like, I'm not interested in this shit anymore. ESO is honestly not that great. It's not that fun. That's just how I feel. It's nothing like Skyrim. That's all I can say. Nothing like Skyrim. It's an MMO, but it's not even a good MMO, sadly. So, let me just wrap up my thoughts here, because I've just been talking nonsense about microtransactions, I know. I'm going to wrap up this video by saying that, please, refrain from purchasing microtransactions. Refrain from doing it, because you're just giving them a reason to have more and more microtransactions in the game. They wouldn't have microtransactions if people didn't buy them. That's why they put them in Black Ops 3, because they put them in Advanced Warfare to test it out, and there were dumbasses that bought them. And this is why I do put part of the blame into Activision or whoever the hell puts the microtransaction in the game. I do blame them to an extent, but I think the greater blame should be put towards the people who actually buy them. If you buy it, then you're responsible for it also. Like, you're partially responsible for why the gaming industry has gone downhill, because you're the ones purchasing the microtransactions. You're the ones that are putting money into all this bullshit. That if they're making money, they're not going to stop doing it. You know what I mean? So we can't fully put the blame on the developers and the publishers. We have to put a lot of the blame onto the consumers, onto the customers for purchasing this bullshit. That's just how I feel. So I want to know what you guys think about microtransactions. Do you guys think that there's no big deal about microtransactions? There's nothing wrong with it, or are you in my camp where I'm pretty much like microtransactions pretty much ruin the game, and they make the game a lot less fun and a lot less rewarding because you can pretty much pay to win? Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious. Anyway, there's just a video I wanted to put out there. I want to keep the content going, and I figured this was an interesting topic to talk about. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later.